Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Nobody Entertainment Podcast. My name is Nobody James, and as always, I am here yet again for some reason with Nobody John. How are you doing this week, Nobody John?
I'm doing fat-tastic.
Fantastic. All right, tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about your fat tasms.
Well, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I'm not a camel. Why do I have humps? I'm not a lady. Why do I have these not so lovely lumps?
I was just getting ready to ask you what you're going to do with all that junk inside that trunk.
Okay, so funny story. Did you say
I'm
talk
going
about?
to get drunk, get drunk off your lumps or whatever. Go
Yeah,
on.
you will. So I was at work and I was doing work, and it was at the end of the day, and I'm getting ready to walk to my car, and my manager's like, "Hey, you ripped a hole in your pants." I was like, "What?"
Oh no.
And I looked, put my hand down there, there's a big old hole, and I was just like, I was getting fat, but fuck, now I gotta buy pants.
I think I can honestly. No, I've had it happen to me two times. I used to be heavier back in the day, as you're aware. Um, I've definitely torn a couple of pairs of pants. One of which only one time was at work. It ripped the seam, and I had to
Mm-hmm.
wear like an apron around backwards to cover up the business because I couldn't take the time to run home and change. The other time I was actually getting in the car to go to work, and I was lucky enough to have torn them on the way in, so I was able to.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. Reality check, hard. Okay.
Well, you messaged me this the other day, but I'm going to stick with the fact that you at least know what to do and how to do it. So even if you gain a few lbs, you'll be able to drop them pretty quick because you have great self
It's
control.
not. It's not the lbs, man. I weighed 163 on Monday, which isn't as high as I've ever been, but I looked better when I was 168. I had lost a lot of muscle, and through the magic of no metabolism, I've changed it into some flotation accessories. So,
That's all
other
right. We've all
yeah,
been there.
other than that, work's been stressful, but it is whatever it is. Weather's been great. I've been running on the lunch breaks. I think it was like 72 today in December. Woo, global
It's been
warming. You know what
it's
I'm
been
saying?
we love it. Fuck the polar bears. I actually we've had good weather up here as well. It's not 70, but it's been in the 50s today. I was able to get the kids out and we played a little bit of soccer. Nothing crazy, just kicking the ball around.
Hey, just
Find
remember,
out
James, that 50 or 70 is the new 50.
that's
Because
true.
of the rise in temperature. So
That's true. But I found out I have a soccer dog. My dog loves playing soccer. So she straight like dribbles the ball. So she'll like kick it with her front legs and then
it's
eventually
like
pick it up with
Air
her mouth.
Bud,
Yeah, I
but
think there was a
ground
soccer
Bud.
version. I think there was Air Bud. I think he ended up playing hockey.
He did everything
I
until he
know
got
he's.
like nose cancer or something.
Oh yeah, he died, but then his son took up the mantle, but then became a drug dealer. So Air Bud on the streets
Yeah, and then it's not just
because
Air
it
Bud;
was
it's just Bud.
Air Bud. Yeah, that was a bad
Mm-hmm.
joke.
It
Is
was,
Air he changed his name to Air Nose Clams,
yeah. So other
but
than that, I got to take the wife's car out today. Went to a gas station, which also has like 5 electric stalls. And then I wrote him an email because I was like, this cable's a little janky. And it's a nice looking place, great place. I've definitely charged up a car at not so good looking stalls. Anyway, they were like, pretty good response in the email. And they were like, and just to let you know, we're getting quick charging. And I was like, all right, up your game. Because there's like this app, it's called SharePoint, where you get to look up plug-in stations and stuff like that, and they're rated. It's a community. It's basically social media for electric car people, just like on stalls and where to go and stuff like that. And they have a pretty low rating. They're at like 2.9.
yeah.
So, and they're pretty new. And I was just like, ugh.
When are you going to open up a charge station? And you can be
Buy my
Joplin's first.
retro gas station, put in some quick charging places, get some vending machines in there.
Yeah, and then you can snack on ding dongs and ho hos and get your fat ass even jollier than you
Oh,
already
I'm
are.
not gonna do that. I'm gonna get like one of those fancy like
Have a tread just
pizza vending machines.
have a treadmill charging station so you can pull in, you can charge up, and you can walk while you wait for it to charge.
The deal is, I don't think I would get a return on my investment. during. I mean, like I would get a jump on the market, but I wouldn't get a return on my investment at all. I'd have to literally buy property out by the university to see a return. You know?
Yeah, yeah, but that's not far. I mean, you're acting like you live
No,
two
well
blocks away from the
yeah, but the
university.
university owns a lot of the land right there, around it,
Gotcha.
so you can't. You know, I'm
You
right
could
by the
you could get it
dorms.
where that old coffee shop used to be, the Butterfly Patch or whatever it was called.
Yep, I think it's a donut. It's a donut shop right now. No,
Yeah,
dude, there's
there's
a
a
gas station
place
just
over there
down the
too.
road there. I'd have to get them guys out. So, but
Well, fair
no,
enough.
yep.
Fair enough. I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things real quick. Um, First of all,
Camera
um,
keeps on autofocusing. It's like,
yeah, mine's doing it too. It's perfectly fine. We've got the Game Awards going on right now. I don't know if you know much about the Game Awards, but Jeff Keighley hosts. He actually puts the whole thing on. He's just a prominent member in the industry, games media, stuff like that. But primarily, his number one job right now is the Game Awards. Um, the biggest thing about the Game Awards, I'm not super into the actual awards themselves. I don't even know what time it ends. I'm going to guess 9 o'clock, but you get tons and tons and tons of announcements now. It's essentially it's the E3 of this year since no E3 shows or anything even happened. So I want to do a quick run through of the few announcements. You can tell me if any of them tickle your fancy, and we'll go from there. We'll make this quick. Like I said, right now it's nothing except for one game in particular has blown my skirt up too far, but it's also having trouble loading this page. So we'll go top to bottom real fast. Devolver Digital announced a new game. I don't know if you know anything about Devolver Digital, but they're an indie studio. They released some good stuff. A game called Tchia announced. Never heard of it. Sea of Solitude is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Focus Home Interactive reveals a game called Shady Part of Me. Near Replicant uh, version 1.22474487139 gameplay is revealed. Century Age of Ashes revealed. Sephiroth is announced as a new Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter. Cinematic trailer for the new Perfect Dark revealed for the Xbox. It's an Xbox exclusive. Do you care about Perfect Dark as a series? I'll take that as a
no.
no. I don't either. This is the one that tickled my fancy. A game called Back for Blood.
Hmm.
Have you heard of it? I think it was just announced today, so probably not. This is developed by Turtle Rock. Do you know who Turtle Rock is?
I think I've seen the name in news articles before. I might have
Sure.
played a game by him.
They used to be employed and might still be, but to my knowledge, they're not, by Valve, and they are the developers of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Mm.
This game, Back for Blood, is exactly Left 4 Dead. Just a 2021 or whatever. Yeah, it's launching on June 20 or in June 2021. So, 2021 version of Left 4 Dead. I mean, it's the four-player co-op against zombies with the big mutated zombies with the
And
safe
that's why they
rooms.
got to say the four in there. You know,
Yeah, yep.
left
Back
for dead, back
for
for blood.
Blood. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I watched the trailer and it didn't announce what it was yet. I was like, oh, this is Left 4 Dead 3, and then it kept going, and I was like, this is just Left 4 Dead, like to the T. It was crazy. And then when they announced the name of it, I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I'm thinking maybe they're going to just do one of those last minute rug pulls and say, yeah, this is Left 4 Dead 3, because I mean, it's insane how exactly identical, even to the point of the safe rooms having like the scribblings on the walls. The doors in the safe rooms look like Left 4 Dead's doors. It's
Yeah.
just wild.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
in
one,
alpha right now, isn't it?
this Back for Blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think so. You can closed alpha or beta, whatever you want to call it. If you're going to talk game news, I know that Steam released a patch for their Linux Proton, their little wine compatibility layer, today or yesterday, so that you could play Cyberpunk 2077 on Linux. And I think that's great. They've come a long way so that now they can like release patches for day one releases uh, for the Linux community, which is great.
That is great. I reckon. I guess we can kind of transition just from there. I just wanted to touch base real quick. I have got my copy of Cyberpunk, and this isn't a game that you're going to play, right?
It'll be a while. I don't know. I need to play
Don't
more
even say
games,
it.
and I
Don't.
don't.
No.
I
Okay.
haven't even
Thought you were
beat
going to say nope. Nope.
what?
Don't even say its name. That's going to be the
Okay.
Voldemort of our podcast until it's beat.
Fuck.
So never. Um, well, I think I'm maybe only 2 hours in. I just got it around 3 o'clock, and then it took a while to install, and then I had some errands and some chores I had to take care of.
You rolling it on the P5?
Of course. Um, so just really, really, really brief first impressions. Um, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, this game's supposed to be the second coming of Christ. Everyone's talking about it being like the best game ever made, and I know CD Projekt Red has a fantastic track record in the sense of Witcher 1, 2, and 3. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Witcher franchise, to the point where I would say I generally dislike The Witcher 3, and I dabbled in Witcher 2. Didn't strike me. It's a little bit more linear. I probably preferred that, but at the time the characters didn't grab me. Witcher 3, I bought it 3 separate times, played it on 3 separate consoles, and I think I put probably 30 hours into the game, and I finally just came to the conclusion this is just not for me. The fighting mechanics were too stiff. The storyline was just too open and vague. It didn't. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's the third one, and I just can't get invested in those characters at all. But either way, I appreciate what they do. I appreciate that they have such rapport. But so far, this game for me, Cyberpunk specifically, is right up the middle. It's what I would say is Rage mixed with Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, or a game in that ilk. So, have
Okay.
you dabbled in either of those games?
Yeah, I have in uh, Mankind, but I haven't like put a lot of effort into it or anything like that. There's another game that's on Linux, just FYI. And it plays phenomenal. I just didn't get really into it. I played like the first intro mission, and then I was like, I got other things to do. So
Well,
there's
we
a new
will
trailer for
see. We'll see
Darktide as
where I
well.
for what Vermintide.
No, Darktide. It's by the same studio
Oh,
that did
yeah, that's right.
Vermintide. Yeah.
Sure. It's just the spiritual sequel,
Yeah, just 40,000
right?
years in the future. That's all.
Yeah. That'll be cool. I'm excited to play that. I think Vermintide specifically would be a game I could get into. Obviously, more of it if it didn't feel a little older. So once this new one comes out, I think it'll be something that
Yeah,
I
they just
definitely am
uh
willing and able
they
to.
just released 2 new patches for Vermintide too. Like some new skin layouts, some new weapons, and a couple other things that are going on in there. I got
I,
the
I'm
emails about
amazed
it.
that they're still putting out content for that game because I mean, how big can that player base be in this day and age?
I have no idea. Good enough, I
I
guess.
couldn't I couldn't imagine that it's above 20,000 or so, which is probably plenty, but seems small,
That's true.
doesn't
That's true.
it?
It does. It does. I watched a
So
movie for you.
you watched it for me, or you watched it for you
Well,
by
I
my
watched it for
request?
you, and then I was like, okay, this is a good movie.
Yeah. Well, so we want to jump into that now, huh?
Well, why not? You got soccer dogs, and I've got fat. So
That
let's.
movie. And this goes right along with it. So if you do you want me to intro, or do you have a little something to say about it?
I mean, like I've got plenty to say about it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. You roll the intro. This is your film. Roll the intro.
All right. All I wanted to say about it, this is a movie called Fat Man, which was released this year. November 24th is when it came out, starring Mel Gibson and Walter Goggins, and he is the hitman. You would know him from a bunch of the other movies. He was actually, I mean, I don't even think I could go through his entire. It would take. It's Walton Goggins. I said Walter Goggins, I think. Um, he's basically the bad guy that dies in everything. So you would recognize him from a bunch of other stuff. But this is a Santa Claus film. It's basically I think I would go as far to say it's kind of a realistic portrayal or a realistic world example of a Santa Claus um, that performs his good deeds and toy deliveries and everything to assist with the economy and the Americana. Um, so the government actually like pays him to perform his duties. It doesn't go into the mystical, mythical, spiritual side of the Santa Claus too much, but it does obviously hint at those things. Like it appears that this guy has super strength, and it's clear that he can like read it. It almost makes him like a superhero
No,
that's like lost his faith. I don't know.
he is immortal. Okay. Uh, you, he's got the. not full Wolverine. Are we gonna go in? Let's spoilers, okay? I'm just gonna put it out
Let's
there.
let's 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 keep it spoiler free for the first 5 minutes, and then we will go full spoilers
Too
just in
late
case our
then.
one to seven. Well, I mean, this in the trailer, right? I mean, that's so far a lot of that's in the trailer. So starting right now, we're going to go spoiler free, and then I will tell you whenever we can switch into spoilers. So if anybody wants to watch it and not get it run, they can pause this and come back to it.
Gotcha. So
So we're doing it for the 3 to 5 of you that watch this.
3 to 5, 3 to 5. Well, be satisfied that I fought through my wife and her grievances against Mel Gibson so that we could watch this movie where Mel Gibson has a black wife. So to redeem himself, that's what he got.
He's not racist against black people. He
Oh,
just
just
doesn't like
Jews.
Jews.
Well, I mean that's.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's okay. Let me be very clear. It's not okay. But
Anti-Semite.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I thought he was racist, and I was like, oh no, he's just anti-Semitic, and
Only
he
when he
hates
gets drunk though,
anti-Semitic,
on Wednesdays.
which is all the time for him. So overall, again, I think we could go into the details and the plots a little bit more aggressively in a little bit. But your overall impressions, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was enjoyable. It was worth the watch. I think what was it? Amazon charged like $7 to watch it, 6.99 for the HD version, which understandable. New movie just came out. I thought it was a good movie. It was worth the money. I've definitely paid more for less, or for worse, I should say. I've paid the big buck theater prices to sit in some gum-filled chair and watch. I don't know, something that I'm just like, God, what did I do with my life? This was not one of those moments. Still a gum-filled chair in my
Did
living
your
room.
wife watch it?
She did watch it. So
And what did she think?
I think overall she enjoyed the film. You know, she talks during some of these films. It's just something that she does, and then sometimes she gets caught off guard by switches or changes in the storyline and stuff like that. And I can call out.
Gotcha.
I can follow the story before the story gets to where it needs to be, and she's just right around for the ride, just like I didn't know that. I don't know. I'm not one of those people. I'm always like, beep, 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 beep. All right, I see what's going to happen, and she's just like
Right.
maybe gets a better experience than I do. That's all.
I think in a movie like this, I think it's very easy to say number one, this is not going to be your big mainstream
Nope.
theater going experience. It's not something you're going to sit down and like want to watch on the big screen and be super pleased about. But I think for me, this is a perfect movie for the times that we're currently in. Um, it's something that you see come up and you think it seems like a really silly premise and it's going to be over the top and stupid and hokey, and then you watch it and you're like, this fit perfectly into what I needed it to be. I'm going to say for I know we don't necessarily want to just go into the ratings, but since we're keeping it spoiler free, if we were to rate it on our scale, um, what is it? Garbage, gauche, good, great, gaga. I
Hmm.
think if I were to paid full price and taken my wife to see this in the theater, I think I would have walked out saying it was good. So that's going to fall in like the third tier for me. But for like watching it in the way that I watched it, I actually watched it like on my phone while performing like functions. I was actually at work while I watched it because there was nothing going on. So I was moving around a little bit. Didn't give it 110% of my attention, but I'd say I caught 95% of the movie. So I think there was
So
just
you
little
think?
pieces and bits of that. That's pausing and obviously coming back to it. Um, but I think I could pretty confidently say I enjoyed it for what it was, and I think in the setting and watching it at home and being $6 or $7, I think it was a great film. I think it fell right into the pocket that I needed it to fall into. It could have been over the top hokey. It could have been over the top campy and stupid. But the thing is, they play it completely straight.
Yep.
Like they delve into these characters. There's a scene in the movie, and this is pre-spoilers, and then we'll go into the spoilers for you.
I'm ready.
There's a scene in the movie where the hitman is purchasing toys that were made by Santa because he didn't receive, and this is in the very first 10 minutes of the movie, so it's not a spoiler. Like it's not a big time spoiler.
Unless you don't
But he's
realize what
buying.
he's doing. My
Yeah, that's
wife.
true. That's true. But
He's collecting.
he's yeah, he's collecting the toys because he was overlooked as a child. And that's where his frustration comes in. And it's played, and this could have been so stupid, but they play it very straight, and it's a very fun way to present it, and it gives this hitman a backstory, and it makes it interesting
So you're putting it
um,
as great, aren't you?
in a way I didn't expect, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I think the movie overall was surprising. It has aspects that I'm gonna have to like shout out to. I don't know if it is who made the calls, but some of the calls that were made in the movie give me, I don't know, energy, pride, a little shout out to what they did. I noticed it, and I hope that you know, they're like, yeah, I'm glad we put that in the film because I was like, yeah,
So
that's hilarious.
let's take that right there, and we'll just springboard right into spoilers. So this is the spoilers territory, all
Put
right?
a
So I
banner
want you to tell
somewhere
me
on
what you're
here,
referring to.
you know.
Maybe I'll think about it. This is a lot
Just
of work.
oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, all right. We're into spoilers, John. Tell us a little bit. What are you referring to? What are some of the good happenings?
Well, I mean, like, so something that I noticed right off the bat is because I watched a documentary about how these big companies allow film industry or put money or pressure on film industry and producers and directors about where their products can be and how their products can be used. And I watched a deal about Apple and how always the bad guys are always Android, they're always Windows phones, they're always Dell laptops.
Yeah.
You know, Apple's always in the good guys' hands. And in this film, the hitman, he's got a Macintosh dead center. His phone, I mean, it's got a cover on it, but you look at the camera layout and you're like, that's an iPhone. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm like that, and I think that's great. And I think they took a jab maybe at Apple because the Hitman also he wears a turtleneck. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool because it goes against the trends in Hollywood. So that's like a little thing that I picked up. But let's
So
go
you're
back into
reading into
the
this movie a little deeper than what it is.
yeah yeah. I noticed
Not
like
necessarily
little
what it is, but what it presents.
yeah. I picked up on little tiny things that they put in there. Hopefully they meant to do it. If they didn't mean to do it, don't tell me, and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna keep on writing. Overall for this movie though, I mean like you're absolutely right. The actors were able to stay in character. They did really good jobs on, um, you know, being the character. It didn't seem stupid. It didn't seem hokey, whatever you want to call it. It seemed like a good film. Um,
So I think if we want to start just talking about the acting and the characters in the movie, um, as I sit here and just briefly run through it in my head, there's really 8 characters that are of consequence in this movie.
mhm.
Kind of starting at the top and working my way down. Number one is obviously Mel Gibson as Saint Nick.
Chris, yep.
Number two, yeah, Chris Kringle, that's right. And number two is going to probably be his wife, and I don't have her name right in front of me. Let me pull it up here. I actually do have it if I just scroll down here. It's Marianne Jean Baptiste as Ruth Kringle or whatever she goes by. Then you have Walton Goggins, who is the actual hitman himself.
Mhm.
The next one, of
I
course, is
like
probably
him in
going
a
to be
lot of
the
stuff.
child that hires the hitman,
You
Walton
mean the brat?
Goggins, the brat kid.
No, the Hitman is
Is that who
awesome.
you're
I like
talking
the
about?
stuff that he does. The brat is the kid
Yeah.
that you were
Oh,
talking about, the hires a Hitman.
yeah. I think I might be lagged out here just a little bit.
Probably, it's okay.
Maybe if you want, pause it for a second.
You want me to pause? Oh,
And the next character is Billy, which is the child, the brat, like you were speaking of. His name is Chance Hertzfield. Um, and then, really, the only other two that come to mind off the top of my head, anyway, are the sergeant in the military, and then number 7, which I
number
thought
7.
was the best line in the entire movie. Um, which I'll make a note of, and we'll come back to that in just a second. But I'll do a quick plot synopsis really fast because we've just kind of been dilly dallying and jumping around. But
That's true.
basically, it's just Santa Claus has lost his way a little bit. Chris Kringle has lost his way a little bit. He's lost the urge to deliver because there's an increasing number of children that are getting coal. They're not good kids anymore. He's just delivering coal to the bad kids, and very little to the good kids. So the government's kind of cracking down on him to produce military weapons instead to kind of subsidize the wages that they're paying him to deliver the toys because it's a boon to their economy. Then you have this little bratty kid that hires a hitman because he ends up getting a lump of coal, as opposed to what he actually asked for, of course. Um, and the hitman himself doesn't like Santa because he didn't get what he wanted when he was a kid. And that's kind of the story. So you have the hit half the movie is the hitman trying to track down Santa, uh, and the other half of that same part is Santa kind of getting his skip back in his step because he's trying to refine the glory because he's been doing it for so long.
Yep.
And then the the last act is the hitman blowing up Santa's workshop and killing everybody.
Well,
So,
are you trying to leave out what the hitman, what he wanted, like for Christmas and he didn't
and
receive?
what was it? I don't even remember.
He wanted his parents to be taken away. He wanted different parents because he was getting abused.
I don't
He
remember that. I'm
he
sorry, I
had
missed it.
he showed the kid when he was buying the airplane in the car. He showed him the cigar burns, the scars in his arm.
That's right. I do remember that part now.
And when
Yeah.
and when he was, staring down, Chris, when they were like getting ready to duel, he's asking why didn't you do this for me? Why didn't you help me out? Because like some things are just outside of his realm, and that was it.
Yeah, and he gave him a police car, right?
Yeah, a little tiny police car toy. But yeah. So with this movie, I don't know what direction you want to go into the next portion of it.
I'll follow you.
Chris Kringle, definitely in this film, is portrayed as superhuman or above humanity. He does take mortal wounds and heals from them, albeit slowly and not fully, because he does have scar tissue. And he does live for a long time. He's had these contracts with the government to stimulate the economy. He is Santa Claus. Got reindeer in this and everything. So there is a little
To
bit
me,
of
to me, there's
magical thing going
implications.
on.
To me, there's implications that he never fully heals from his wounds. Like I have a
Yeah, yeah,
feeling by
yeah.
the
I'm
end of
not
it,
saying
he
he's
loses an
Wolverine.
eye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's
he's not going to get that eye back. He's
nope.
just
It's gonna
he
scar
obviously
over.
recovers from a headshot. Yeah, because we at one point he takes his shirt off and he's got a bunch of scars and
Yeah.
bruises all over his body. So I thought that was an interesting take on the concept, and he clearly has, like I said, superhuman strength. The only thing, as far as his character, that I didn't like is there are scenes where he's just kind of meandering around the workshop area, like he's kind of just out leisurely strolling. And I understand that he's the head honcho or whatever, but it does seem like he's ending up in these scenarios just to get him in these scenarios, which is fine, but like he's just strolling by and then they stop and have conversations and stuff. I wish they would have given him more work to do instead of just
I
walking by with a coffee cup all the time.
I don't know. I feel like it adds to some of the character development for a lesser known people like Seven and the General. It adds those elements in there.
And it does, but I wish he would have been performing a function. Like he's carrying, I know it's silly, but he's carrying a box or he's delivering something. Like Miss Claus, for instance, Ruth, she's constantly coming out with a plate of cookies. So at least she has a reason to be passing through because she's delivering these cookies. Um, he doesn't have it. It's just clear that they wanted him to have a conversation at that point. Which you
Yeah,
bring up Seven, my my favorite line in the whole movie. I thought it was so funny and clever. They, instead of assigning names to the elves in the workshop, which they're just small, slightly discolored people, um, he he's introduced. He says it's easier, it's cleaner, and it's more efficient just to assign it this way. And he's like, "You're number 7," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the head or whatever, head elf."
I'm the foreman.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, what happened?" Yeah, he's like, "I'm the floorman." He's like, "So what happened to 1 through 6?" He's like, "We've been at this a long time."
Yep.
It's, oh, they're dead. I thought that was pretty funny.
I
So
that I mean like that is a good line. I do like that. My favorite one is where the hitman is telling off the pet store owner.
Yeah, whenever he's oh, that's another great one. Yeah, not I like it when he's shopping and he's looking through the clothes and he's like it cracked me up. I laughed out loud because he's like, what do you say? He's like brown, blue, too many limbs. I'm not a fucking tree.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny because he's looking at camo and stuff. But anyway, when he's talking to like the lady, he said something about not knowing when to shut up or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, she's like, I can tell. You're a reptile guy. Blah 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 blah. Snakes. You're a snake guy. He's like, snakes eat hamsters. Because he's a hamster guy. He's got a pet
Yeah.
hamster. For all those that haven't seen it, he's got a pet hamster he takes care of. And his pet hamster's sad, so he goes to this store in Canada to get stuff for his little hamster. And this lady's trying to sell him freaking something that eats hamsters. And she's like, I can tell I'm good at this. And he's like, clearly you're not. You're one of those ladies that don't know how to shut the fuck up. So it's a pretty
See,
good line. I didn't give it justice. I'm sorry. It's a good
you're
line
fine.
though.
I love that's what I love about the movie that and I think this is a movie I'll revisit on a semi-regular basis. It's kind of like Krampus. When I go back, I don't know if you ever saw Krampus, but
Which
it's
one?
it's something I revisit like every single Christmas. I mean the major one, the major release one. I guess it went to theaters. It wasn't a home release. It's got good graphics and all that jazz. Good practical effects with the gingerbread
I'm gonna
men
pause
that
you.
like kill everybody.
Go.
So the thing about this movie that I really love is that it delves into back story and character development that it doesn't really need to, and with the exception of the little kid, I think it does a really good job of not um, going over the top hokey. Honestly, there's only one scene in the entire movie that to me read as just too silly. It's when the kid like gets the coal on Christmas morning and he goes out to the yard and he's like, "You'll pay for this, fat man." He's like yelling at the sky. I thought that was a stupid line in the movie.
Well, they had
I
to get
did
that for the
hear
title. They
one.
had to do a lot more of that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just thought they should have toned that down. Like he could have just, screamed. Like he could have opened it and screamed, and it would have been over. He didn't need to go outside and fall on his knees and Fatman.
He didn't want his
That
Gmail
did
to hear
that
him.
scene, which that was a. I mean, even that was a great conclusion. Spoilers for the end of the movie. So, the hitman and Santa Claus face off, and they have this like long knockout, drag out fight that ends with Santa Claus getting capped in the head, right? And then Santa Claus's wife Ruth comes out and in a series ends up killing the hitman, right?
Yeah.
And then you find out that Santa Claus is immortal; he cannot die. So he ends up going to visit the child, and you think, at least I think, that he's going to kill this kid. And at the end of the day, I'm kind of rooting on it because when Santa Claus walks in on this kid, he's breaking up medicine tablets to poison and kill his grandmother.
Fentanyl, if I recall.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which is crazy. So you're rooting for Santa Claus to just crush this child,
Yeah, yeah, he
and that,
needs it.
but he doesn't. He's got the spirit back, man. I mean, with the exception of trying to kill a hitman that's out there to kill him, he's a good dude. you know.
Yeah.
So I liked it. Like I said, overall, for me, this movie I think it played perfectly, and I think again, if I saw it in theaters, I would have walked out going, it was okay or it was good. In this scenario, I thought it was legitimately a great movie, and I anticipate revisiting it. I think it's a lot of fun. Where do you think it falls on the scale, or do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I was gonna put it on good, but it's definitely something that I would watch over again. I had fun watching it. I really do think that you know, it has great aspects of it. The character development is great. There's backstory and stuff in there. Uh, you hate who you want. They want you to hate that little kid. He's a little son of a gun, and you are like, I hope he gets what's coming to him. You know, and then hopefully we get some kind of like director's cut where Mel Gibson gets to take that little punk out.
You're rooting for the kid to die. I think
He
I
needs
think they
to.
played it
It's a bad. You got a
again.
bad egg. You got to crush the egg. Okay.
I think they played it perfectly in the sense that as any other person would think, and myself included, you're like, I want to see this kid get his comeuppance. But Santa Claus is Santa Claus, dude. He ain't out there, doing more than giving kids coal and showing them an eye that got blasted out of his skull.
Right? That's
He's
ooh, that was disgusting.
he's being a good dude, and even that the gore is not over the top. It's very tastefully made, and like I said, it went. I also like the scene. Last thing I'll say, I like that scene in the bar, and even when Santa's down and out and he's not too happy with the way things are going, he ends up talking to a guy that's trying to hook up with the bartender,
Yeah.
and he's like doesn't even say who he is or anything. He just convinces him. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for your tab. You get home to your wife. If you hit the road right now, you'll get there by 1 a.m. or whatever the case is.
Yep.
So he's just a good dude, even when he's down and out. He's a good dude.
Well, he's telling that guy, "Hey, don't be messing around."
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was pretty cool. I think he's rooting for the families is what he's doing. He's a man for the family. Even when he's making military uh, weaponry and performing, or building weapons of mass destruction, he's, addressing his workers and, he sheds a tear because he doesn't want to make them come back to work early, is what he says. He's like, yeah, you shouldn't have to come back to work already, but we got to get this thing going. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool. So I do want to touch real quick just on we'll switch gears. You fall into the good category. I fall into the good/great category, depending on the setting. I don't think anybody would watch this and think it was anything less than what they're signing up for. If you know any idea of what the trailer is, I think you're going, or I'm sorry, the premise is, you're going to be all the more pleased. This is one last question I have for you, real quick.
Shoot.
You like it, you think it's worth your time and your money. Would you recommend this that other people watch it? Like if you were talking to a friend, do you think you'd be like, hey, you should spend the $7 and check this movie out?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Me too. I texted you as soon as it was over. I said you should watch this movie. So,
And I did.
and you did. Thank you for
I
that. So
did. I did my job.
you did it. I'm proud of you. I watched one other movie. This is. I'll be real quick
The
on this.
story of a girl.
It's right. She cried a river and drowned the whole world. This is a movie called Becky. It was also released this year on June 5th, direct to video, or VOD, I guess. It would have been in the theaters. It's a little indie movie for the most part. It stars Lulu Wilson, Kevin James, and Joel McHale. You know, obviously, who Kevin James is. He was the King of Queens in that show, and so on and so on. Um, Basically, what it boils down to is there is a girl named Becky who has lost her mother, and she's trying to get assimilated back into the world, and kind of, she's 13 years old, kind of get back into contact with her dad. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Kevin Wilson's character. No, I'm sorry, Kevin James's character, who gets out of breaks out of prison, and he's trying to recover a key so he can get some lost treasures back or something like that. And these two twos their paths cross. So he's trying to capture Becky to get his key so he can get his money, and Becky is trying to avenge the loss of some family members because, spoilers, Kevin James kills her dad, who is played by Joel McHale. Um, Overall, for me, this movie sucks. I
Glad
I
you brought
picked
it up then.
I picked it up. I rented it because I'm just, again, I'm looking for some movies to watch. Tonally, it's just kind of all over the place. It over embellishes in some of the gore. It's honestly, it's a perfect parallel to a movie like Fat Man. You watch it and you think if they had known what tone they were going for, it could have been a good movie. Almost like aggressive Home Alone. Um, Obviously not set around Christmas time or even just being alone. It's just a kid trying to survive some invaders, and it just is not. It's completely missable. That's why I didn't text you and say watch it. I thought it was borderline boring. Again, the gore is over the top, which some of the scenes are kind of fun. Like she breaks a ruler and stabs it into a guy's neck and ends up stomping it down through his neck and into the ground. So that, I mean, the imagery is okay. It just doesn't necessarily mesh with the tone of the rest of the movie. Um, and also, you got this 13-year-old girl that basically is acting like an 8-year-old in the sense that she's got putting on like a really childish cap. And I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, and it's not great. And honestly, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I can't even remember how the movie ends. I know she lives. Um, I know she's sitting in a waiting room. I'm trying to think what happened to the antagonist, and I know he dies, but I can't remember how. It was boring. I watched this movie 5 days ago, and like I said, it's going to go in the gauche. I don't think it's garbage, but it's going to go in gauche. It's completely missable and passable. So that's what's been entertaining me. I've been playing a lot of Sackboy with my kids. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone with
Hmm.
you. Watched Becky, watched Fatman. I've been watching a couple episodes of stuff here and there, nothing too fancy. Really getting into Schitt's Creek, which I think I talked about on last week's episode. But
It's good. It's a good series.
we're we just finished season 2 of Schitt's Creek. My wife and I really enjoy it, and we're looking forward to delving even deeper into it. What else has been entertaining you, John?
Um, honestly, that's it. I really haven't been
So,
playing much video games besides the Call of Duty. I don't know.
well, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode this week, but I'm going to end it on a little bit of a game here, John. I've got this music quiz board game, not board game. It's just these little cards. So something I
Music?
picked up at Target. I think it was last year. Yeah, I know you're stupid, so you're not going to do a very good job. Um, but I picked this up at Target around Christmas time. I think it was last year, maybe the year
I
before.
can't see that.
And it's oh, sorry. Is that better?
Music quiz? Yeah.
Music quiz. So it's going to be. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. We'll drive this home, and we'll see if you can score a positive 6 out of 10. We're looking for 6 out of 10, and you'll win a prize.
Okay.
So the categories are rock, pop, 80s, and soundtracks. We're gonna grab. We'll do 3 from each category, and then we'll do a mystery 10th question,
And this
and
is
we'll see
without
how
the
you.
internet.
This obviously. I mean, if you're typing in answers, then you're a cheater, and I hate you. Um,
You hear that? That's me getting the answers.
I look forward to seeing if you can do that. So we're gonna start with a category I know you know nothing about. Oh yeah, you're gonna do terribly on this, John. It's gonna be bad. Okay, I'll give you multiple choice, even though there's only one answer on this card. Okay,
All right.
so which Disney film features? I'm sorry, this is I gotta do an intro song. You ready? Uh, it's time for the music quiz. John sucks and he's gonna get them all wrong because he's a piece of shiz. All right, which Disney film features a song with the lyrics "And then I'll brush and brush and brush and brush my hair"? Okay, which Disney film features a song with that lyric? All right, is it A, Aladdin.
Rapunzel?
B, Aladdin 2. No, I'm just kidding. Or is it okay, so is it A, Aladdin? Is it B, Frozen? Or C, Tangled?
Well, I'm gonna go with Tangled. I have not seen Frozen or Tangled, so
Okay. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong until the end.
I'm right on that. It's okay.
We'll
There's
see.
a
We'll see.
frizzy-haired redhead in that cartoon, so or
She's
animation.
blonde. She's blonde.
In
Um,
Frozen, yes, but not in Tangled.
no, Tangled is blonde. Have you seen Tangled?
No.
Then why are you going to argue with me? I've watched that movie 700 times. You're looking it up? He started looking it up.
Tangled.
All right.
Disney.
Anyway, here we go. This is going to be from the 80s category. You ready?
Son of a gun.
Yeah, I know. She's a blonde. Say I'm right. Say it. Say it.
She is a blonde, but
All right.
there's two little redheaded kids that talk to her, and it is the story of Rapunzel. So
That
I
is the
go.
story of Rapunzel. So, question for the 80s category. Dee Snider was the frontman of which 80s hair metal band? Dee Snider, which 80s hair metal band? Is it A, White Snake, B, Twisted Sister, or C, Def Leppard?
Man, I don't know. We'll go with A.
White Snake?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I
I
got
noted it.
33.3333% chance.
That's true. That's true. All right. Um, ooh, this
Why
one's
are
going
you
to be a
thinking
hard
about
one.
these? Just shoot them off. Let's go. Come on.
Well,
Hey, I get
some
the
of them I
triple. I
have
get.
to. Here we go. This is
You're
good.
curating
I
them.
have. The thing is, I have to think of like two alternative answers. I'm making those up on the fly, and I don't want to make it too obvious. And so, like for instance, this one that was I was going to ask you was in Carly Rae Jepsen's "Call Me Maybe." What line comes after "Hey, I just met you and this is crazy"? So I would have to make up lyrics, and I'm not going to do that.
Call me, maybe.
Here's my number. So this is a good one. In what year did Jerry Halliwell leave the Spice Girls? In what year did Jerry Halliwell leave the Spice Girls? Is
I
it
don't know. 1993.
1993, 1997, or 1998?
7.
Okay. I like that next. I'm going to come back to that card. Okay. Now we're moving. We're going to pick up the pace. Rock question. Here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is a hard one. I don't know that I would have known this one. Keith Moon was the drummer in which rock band? Which rock band? The Who, the Beatles, or Queen?
What's the guy's name again?
Keith Moon, the
Oh,
Who,
I don't know.
the
Let's
Beatles, or Queen?
let's do the Who.
The Who. Okay, let's go back to soundtracks. Soundtracks. What was the first film to star Ice Cube? That's a good question. First film to star Ice Cube. Is it Are We There Yet? Is it Friday? Or is it Boys in the Hood?
Boys in the Hood. That came out before Friday, I think. Let's go with it.
Okay, we're back to the 80s, John. Which of the oh this one has multiple choice for you. I like this one. Here we go.
Okay.
Which of the following was not a song released by Cyndi Lauper? Do you know who Cyndi Lauper is, John?
No, it's okay.
You can't name one Cyndi Lauper song?
No, I don't know who she is, so it's okay. Just go.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Girls just wanna have fun. Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
and
Time After which one of them was not a song released by her? Time After Time, True Colors, or Human Nature?
uh, the human nature.
Alrighty. Okay. Now we're going to jump over to the pop category. I mean, that's 6 questions down. We only have 4 to go, John. How are you feeling about this?
Horrible. I don't remember names of the songs. I don't remember the names of singers. Like when you're in bands. Like I listen. It doesn't matter. Just go.
All right, here we go. I can tell you're having a good time. Beyonce was a member of which girl group before going solo?
See,
What
this is
was
how TLC.
I love it. Do you want to go with that answer?
No, I don't think that's it. I'm trying to think. I don't remember the name of it. It's been so long,
Okay.
and I don't particularly listen to her music. So
Do you want multiple choice?
yes, please.
All right. I just have to think of a third one. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Is it A Teens? Is it Cheetah Girls? Or is it Destiny's Child?
Oh yeah, it's the child.
I feel like you're cheating.
How am I cheating?
All right, you have 3 questions left. We're going to go back to rock. Maybe you know something about rock. I don't know. I do not know.
It's
Oh,
too
this
much
is a good
rock
one.
music.
This is a good one. What is the name of the bass guitarist in the Red Hot Chili Peppers? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Name of the guitarist, the bass guitarist. Is it Tick? Is it Tim? There's a theme. Or is it Flea?
Flea.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. We'll go with rock one more time. Let's see here. That's not a good one. We're going to go to soundtracks, and that's not a good one. Let's go to 80s. You'll never know these.
Nope.
I'll get you. I'll get you a good one.
This game is not for me.
It is for us. In what year was John Lennon shot? John Lennon was a singer slash guitarist for what band? For bonus points.
Uh, Beatles.
Yes, good job. I'm so proud of you. You get plus point 0.5.
It was Yoko Ono. She did it. She had a hitman hit him.
She didn't, but alrighty. In what year was he shot? Was it 1979, 1980, or 1981?
79.
Okay. And last question. This is going to be a tough one, John. This is going to be a tough one. You don't like the name questions. Hold on. You don't like the
Who
name questions.
was the roadie for Gwen Stefani's band, which I can't remember the name of her band, but the Gwen Stefani band.
All right. This one you should know. I'll give you this one. I just have to think of a third one. Let me get a third one. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds.
One, two, three, four. Do, 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 do,
Okay.
do, 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 boop.
Got it. All right. Which famous rock band's guitarist performed live in a school uniform? Was it ZZ Top? Was it Guns N' Roses? Was it AC/DC?
AC/DC, man.
How do you think he did?
47%. Because I got that
That's
bonus
impossible.
point. I got the bonus point or whatever.
That'd be
That's worth.
45%.
Maybe.
John, you got a solid 70%. You passed today's trivia test. You know what your prize is?
No, I don't know what my prize is. I'm waiting for you to tell me.
Not not one, but you get two of these. So you have a good night. Thank you so much for watching the Nobody Entertainment Podcast. My name is Nobody Jaymes. John, hit us with a little trivia.
Trivia. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck cared about chucking wood?
7. Have a good week.
That's not what my mom said.